So, we back with another Arc Raiders gameplay in the background. It's some old gameplay if you remember back during the Cold Snap event. That was like the great days, and I love that time in Arc Raiders because it wasn't so much hate, you know. I think they're subject to a lot of scrutiny because the amount of success it had. And I don't think it's really dying. I think it done got down to its core, player base, and we're seeing a lot of people, especially the YouTubers, make a lot of money off of being negative. That's what kind of pushes the algorithm. And once upon a time, it didn't necessarily always push the algorithm in gaming because we had our own thought process, about how things go. And you have certain people that love a game, certain people that don't. But for me, coming from a different era of gaming and coming up to this modern form of gaming, we're seeing that if YouTube doesn't kill it, then typically a game survives. And it's not just YouTube. It could be like, TikTok, Instagram, or whatever the case may be. But it is a known fact that certain games get killed before they even come out. It's, oh, don't try this game. This game is terrible. I think the recent 007 game was getting a lot of hate. And then sometimes you just got to put your hands on it your damn self, and then you see like, wow, this game is not bad at all. I should have listened to myself and gave it a chance. I don't get why they want to make everything like everything else. It's like if you got skins in art and you can't manipulate it and have like, all right, you can buy this skin, that skin, and put those two skins together. Take the pants from this skin and take the shirt from this, and it's like, I get it. You like the luxury of doing that, but in all actuality, this is different than what we're used to getting. And then I think it stifles the creative ability of a lot of these creators because it's either they have their vision of how the games want to go, which I prefer, being an old school gamer myself. I would prefer their vision to be put out there than for them to listen to the community, try to make us happy, and then the community just moves the goalposts every time. I mean, we've seen it with COD. We've seen it with them multiple times. Remember Warzone 1, right? And how, it was fantastic when it first came out, but as they kept trying to listen to the community feedback, they would do some things that one side didn't like, do some things the other side didn't like. Then the next installment of Warzone, they slowed down the pace, but so then all the people that used to slide around on their knees, they didn't like that game. Then they changed it again to the point where Warzone's kind of like, it got this player base, but even me, I used to, hop on for, 4 or 5 games a night with the boys, and I don't do that anymore because it's sort of like how PUBG went. You get kind of burnt out, especially with that genre. That, like, the Battle Royale is always going to be fun. It's always cool to step back in, but it kind of, it's a part of the gaming ecosystem now, and it's not so fresh and new. In my opinion, the extraction shooter is not necessarily so fresh and new. Arc Raiders just done it differently, and the gunplay is great, in my opinion. So when you add the level of difficulty that Arc has, and then you add the gunplay and the great graphics, and the multiplayer aspect, the unknown with the being able to not know who is friendly and who's not. We have a situation that is beautiful. I mean, when the last time you seen people say, "Oh man, I got $300, $400, and I'm bored." Well, of course you're bored if you don't put that much time in. Especially there was some people putting that time in before December. So it's like you're playing it that much, and now you're asking for more content. That's crazy. And that tells me you need to go and utilize all these other great games that comes out. You got to think they have something as diverse as Crimson Desert, and people are gonna find it. People are finding a way. Oh, it's boring. There is no this. There is no that, and it gets exhausting. I think that the best thing Art could have done is stop the level of communication, because I have not seen it work with a game yet. Oh, well, we need all this level of communication. Well, no, you don't. If all y'all gonna do is never be satisfied. If I was the developer, I would just put the game out and you either like it or you don't. Because if you are truly a gamer, and I know that, we use that when you're in the gaming community kind of loosely or like jabs. I I want to step in the world that the game developer created. And if you notice, that's what Ark was great at. It was great at that. That I stepped in this world that you created, and now I get to experience it how you vision. You get me? Now, I understand people wanting PvE, and that's nothing wrong with that. I wouldn't mind the PvE mode, but after the last update, I have not had a problem with running into a bunch of rats and ultra aggressive players, unless I go over to squads, and then I have the aggressive player. So, them wanting a PvE mode solely, I mean, if I was in Bark, I would just add it and see if it really makes them happy. But I don't think it's going to work. I think they're just going to find something else to be pissed at. And it's a shame because you can see that they understand that the more transparent they are, the more that they can't hold their promises. Because it's one thing to be ambitious and say, hey, I'm going to add this to the game, I'm going to add that to the game. And then you get in the rigmarole of it and they realize, like, hey, we could add it, but it ain't going to be right until we get some more time. And I get it. I guess honestly, this live service model, it will always have that weird area of not having the player base as happy as it could be if it wasn't so transparent. I mean, look at Battlefield 6, man. It went from winning, first person shooter of the year to people just shitting on it, talking about, oh, that's not enough content. We gotta wait this much long for content, all that. And they're dropping the ball here. Then it's video after video after video of people just shitting on the game. Me personally, every time I go back and play Battlefield 6 with the homies, I have a great time. And I think the reason is because I don't get too locked in to the point where if I'm playing, I play Ark for, I almost got $500 in Ark. I was still playing 2K, I was still playing Madden. I mean, Ninja Gaiden 4 had came out, Resident Evil, the new Resident Evil had came out. I was playing my Switch. When Art got annoying, I played something else. I didn't just sit around and complain about it. And we see a lot of people doing that, and it kills games quicker than what they think. I mean, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero was amazing, in my opinion. There's those diehard, Budokai fans that maybe didn't like that it was missing this and missing that, but to say that to go back and play, Budokai Tenkaichi 3 or whatever, and say that that game is better than this, is to me, I just don't get it. I don't. It looks better. It's more smoother. It plays better. I don't know what they're talking about. And then it's like you want all these mechanics that was in the old game into a new game, but if they was to do that, right, they would say, well, you just put out a new game with better graphics. And this is why the transparency is weird in the social media era, because it's hard to make them happen. And I don't know what to do with that. I feel like I have to be the more grounded voice of reason about certain things like that, because if we don't, then we are not going to have any developer do anything but give us these PC responses, and then they might have these weird little Q&As with like IGN or somebody that's not going to give the real type of interview you want, and then the only communication you would get is the little bit of information they give you before they give you all the list of patch notes that they have changed. So if we want to change this thing, which I don't think it can be, it's just like anything. It's like politics and stuff. It's going to start with us to change. And the politics of gaming has got to the point where these YouTubers and streamers are driving the community so much that it's influencing the regular gamers to say, hey, well, maybe this isn't a good game. Don't get me wrong, Battlefield and Arc Raiders have their problems, but the biggest problem is the community wanting way too much and not allow them to have the vision that they seen for the game, because I feel like that's a better product than trying to make everybody happy. But until next time, I'll holla.